During the first FNTS qualifier week, the trio that seemingly impressed the most was MrSavage, Tayson and Eyedrop. Now these guys started off hot, dropping a 56 bomb and proceeding to win the first 2 rounds of qualifiers. Now these guys showed why they deserve to be in the conversation for being the best trio in the world and a team that can finish the season as trio champions. But even with all that being said, I've still seen a large amount of disrespect for their third. The third being Eyedrop, and in light of the most recent roster changes involving MMB, I've seen many people question why someone like Benji isn't playing with Tayson and Savage. Now although there are reasonings beyond what I'm going to discuss in the video as to why that trio isn't a thing, I wanted to take the time to talk about why I believe Tayson and Savage must continue to play with Eyedrop, and why in general I just think Eyedrop is one of the most underrated and just best players in EU. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, leave a comment down below on what you think, and enjoy the video. MrSavage is one of the best players to touch the game, and he's shown time and time again why he's one of the GOATs to touch Fortnite. Tayson is currently proclaimed as the best player in the world, coming off back-to-back FNCS wins, and to round up the stars of the trio we have the Norwegian talent Eyedrop. Now to many casuals, Eyedrop may simply be a Norwegian comp player who played duos with MrSavage in the last year of FNCS duos. But in Eyedrop you have one of the best talents in Fortnite. Eyedrop is no stranger to competitive Fortnite, with some of the earliest tournament placements he had being in 2018, even competing in LAN at Polaris. In his time in Fortnite, he's competed along some of the best talents in EU comp history, the likes of Flick, Andretta, MrSavage, Mexi, Osmo, Savid, Hen, and more recently, Stursix and Vetle. Now although you may not be familiar with this trio, they were easily one of the better trios in EU last season and in the beginning of this one, with multiple top 5 finishes in trio cash cups as well as FNCS weeks, finishing middle of the pack in the grand finals with a 17th place showing. In this trio, Eyedrop played the role of a secondary IGL and fragger. When talking to Stursix, his former IGL and teammate, he described Eyedrop as someone who wanted to be the best all the time and taught me a lot of things. This willingness to learn and teach is what makes Eyedrop such an intuitive player and a good teammate. When it comes to in the server, however, Eyedrop continues to impress. His mechanical prowess paired with his creativity and discipline make him an incredible fighter. In the most recent Cash Cup, he had a damage dealt to damage taken ratio of 1.76. In comparison, his teammate Tayson, one of the best players in the world, had a damage ratio of 1.79. And Savage, the IGL of that trio, had 1.52 damage ratio. In the previous Cash Cup, Eyedrop also averaged 3.7 elims per game over the course of 10 games in the Cash Cup, and in comparison, Benji Fishy, somebody who people always say should be someone who plays with Tayson and Savage, averaged 3.8 for reference. Now although one Cash Cup alone is small data and not enough to definitively show who's a better player by any means, that's not what I'm trying to do, it's just for me to be able to show that Eyedrop can hold his own in fights. Eyedrop has also shown that he's one of the best refreshers in the world and arguably the best harpoon player alive. Sorry Claire. The Eyedrop classic harpooning players down from their tarps in endgame and boxing them up for him and Tayson to feed on, as Savage tarps has become something that many pros started to catch on to and implement into their own games. Now although all these things coming together make Eyedrop one of the perfect choices for Savage and Tayson, it's important to note that all 3 players have come from different trio situations, all playing different styles. Tayson playing with MMT, Savage playing with Benji and Lechi, and obviously Eyedrop playing with Vetle and Stursix. But when you actually look at the style that this trio plays now, it's actually quite clear that they've actually adopted a style that is closest to that of Eyedrop, Vetle's and Stursix's trio. Now when I've spoken to BloodX, their coach, someone who's actually been able to give me a lot of insight into how Eyedrop has developed as a player, he said that we have spent a lot of time on VOD reviews and adjusting Tayson and Savage's playstyles the most to match the team's playstyle, believe it or not. Eyedrop has had the least work to do. Even though he has had some work, it has been the least. We kind of reinvented his old trio's playstyle and evolved it a little bit. And also when you have Savage and Tayson, you have the ability to play high ground with my knowledge. As long as these guys stick together, there's no doubt in my mind they will end the trio considered as one of the best trios in the world, with either an FNCS AXA champions to their names or at the very least a top 3 finish. And then people will hopefully finally respect Eyedrop for the star he truly is. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of Eyedrop as a player, and let me know how you guys think their trio is going to do. Also, please be sure to follow me on Twitter at Levin2k, and I stream every day on Twitch, twitch.tv/Levin2k. Thank you very much.